I want to take you through something where we focus on relaxing every single bit of everything in you that is so wired with stress hormones, because we have invested so much of our attention in all these things external that we have forgotten to invest our attention internally where the true power is. So get comfortable. Shut your eyes. Start breathing rhythmically. Just slow, even inhales and exhales. Here's the thing, smile from your heart. Don't think about what it means. Don't ascribe any value or meaning or judgment or think or even any thought that it means anything. All you have to do is just do it. Just let it happen intuitively. Smiling from your heart. Breathing rhythmically. Thoughts come up in your mind, it's okay, let them come up. Just keep bringing your attention back gently to your breath, to whatever feeling is produced when you're smiling through your heart. And now, as you keep doing this, I want you to relax a little bit more. Relax your whole body. Start with the muscles of your face. You can relax all the muscles in your face while you keep rhythmically breathing. Makes it way easier to relax all the other muscles and organs and all the different systems of your body, because they all have acupuncture and acupressure points in your face. So as you relax your face, then you can just gently, while you're breathing rhythmically, smiling through your heart, you can scan your body. Just feel if there's any particular point that comes up where you're holding on to tension. See, a lot of times what people will do is they get into these really relaxed, calm states. If they feel tension in their body, they usually will not know what to do, because that tension is usually just related to a memory of something that could be really traumatic, that happened to you way back in your life and has continued to build neural architecture in your body that remind you of the feeling that that initially created. Or it's going to start making you think and feel and resist it and this and that, but you don't have to do any of that. So from a calm, relaxed place, if you feel tension in your body, all you have to do is relax deeper into it as you feel it. You don't run and hide from it. You don't suppress it. You just face it, but you relax into it. Think of water running through a stream filled with hard rocks, smoothing everything down, eroding rock, softening it. You Because when you get into a state of heart-brain coherence, which is what it's what we're touching on, you calm down your human awareness. You bring your attention inwards by smiling through your heart and relaxing your body, feeling these tension points that might be there and relaxing deeper into them. Then you begin to tap into the autonomic nervous system and the spirit, the field, the energy that is truly what is allowing you to even perceive reality from a human point of view is in that autonomic nervous system. When you calm your mind down, you calm your body down, that autonomic nervous system starts to self-regulate. It starts to create homeostasis in the balance. It just knows how to bring the type of balance that you really need to start feeling better, to start getting into a state where your own balance returns to you, your own energy returns back to you. The beautiful thing about this is when you give a lot more of your attention to being aware of the energy that's in your body and trusting in its innate intelligence, because it is infinitely more intelligent than we are in our conditioned, stressed out, fear-based human state of awareness that most of us have become addicted to. But when we realize that that's all it really is, we're just addicted to it, and all of a sudden we liberate the jailer, our ego, the one who is keeping the soul, the energy in a prison of perception that we didn't even realize. So as you start feeling this energy that is causing your heart to beat, that's causing incalculable, miraculous bioelectricity to surge through your body faster than the speed of light, performing feats within each and every organ and system in your body that the best science in the world still cannot understand or replicate. Then you start to realize that you are so much more beautiful, so much greater. You have the ability to be so much more empowered than all of the terrible things that so many of us have witnessed throughout so much of our lives, including all the ancestral stuff that we've been through. Meaning, the energy that is allowing you to exist, to be in your human senses, has a greater amplitude of energy in it, that when you focus on it and when you come to know it and you prioritize it and you give attention to it and you start to love it, because you realize that you're having this temporary human experience and that it truly is a gift even amidst all the hardships. You get to a point where you trust this energy that's causing balance in your body. You trust it so much, because when your body goes back into a state of balance and the symptoms and the aches and pains that you've been holding on to start to disappear, because you're tuning into the more than 99% of what is actually happening inside of you, which is invisible energy and information, allowing you to perceive reality through your human senses. And that most of your human personality, almost all of it, is focused on less than 0.01% of what appears to be happening, we are focused on such a minority. We are focusing on the particle in quantum physics, when the greater part of us, inside of us, is already attuned to the wave. The bulk of what we really are is already in alignment with the truth, with the power, with that which no human words, which no human system of thought, which no human religion, which nothing within the realm of human comprehension can encapsulate. We are that. It is attempting to get our attention by creating massive strife and imbalance in the world around us, because it wants us to start paying attention to it, because we've been ignoring it for so long. It wants us to know how powerful we are, and it wants us to live in a way where we can begin to embody that to whatever degree. Because when you create an internal environment that is in harmony with what is already inherent in your body, meaning the energy field that's causing your heart to beat, that's causing your lungs to breathe, that's causing every organ system in your body and every system in your body to function. When you get the little part of you, your ego, that is addicted to focusing on the less than 0.01% of what appears to be happening, and you start giving more and more attention to that 99.9% of what is really happening inside of you, the invisible field of energy that's causing the heart to beat, that's causing all of these miraculous autonomic functions to happen, you begin to heal. You begin to overcome all of your symptoms, all of your illnesses, emotional, physical, mental, your addictions, your problems, your triggers. All these things bit by bit begin to diminish, because you are becoming aware of what has always been there, but you're becoming aware of it in a way where there is a conscious acknowledgement of the feedback of you focusing on it. So that means when you begin to focus on this field of energy from a place of trust, from a place of reverence, from a place of just rationally realizing the miracles that it is doing inside your own body just to keep you alive, is so much more powerful than all the evil that we witness in the world around us. Then you start to feel a level of balance that is already attuned to the great external fields of energy that are being emitted by this earth, that are being emitted by all the unseen gravitational forces of the solar system that we're in, that are part of the solar system, is part of the unseen gravitational forces of the galaxy that we're in. When you create this internal balance in you by giving attention to it, you begin to attune yourself to these much greater fields of coherence that have always been there, waiting to capture you, to hold you, to support you, to inspire you. And when you make that a priority, there isn't a bit of pain, chaos, suffering, evil agendas, controllers, darkness. None of that has any power over the individual that has truly reversed the world. So keep breathing rhythmically. Remember, you are not who you think you are. That is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg of what you actually are. And when you, the person who you think you are, decides to start giving a lot more attention to what you really are, meaning this invisible field of energy that is animating your body and causing your heart to beat, even no matter how difficult that can be at first, even if it's a subtle process, because in the beginning, you know it's there, you know there's something causing you to exist, but maybe you're just not so aware of it. That's because the sensitivities that allow us to detect these fields as they pulse through our being have become a little bit blunted. They've become a little bit numbed out. They've been a little bit conditioned by the external world that we unknowingly invested so much of our attention into. But now we've all come here to this place at a point where we realize we can make a different choice. We're not going to blame anybody or any external thing for where we are currently at. We are going to take responsibility for redirecting our attention and perceiving the world from the inside out. We're going to learn to relax. We're going to keep making choices that bring us into a calm and coherent state of being. And when people trigger us, or news or situations, it's okay. We can get knocked off balance for a minute. We can get upset. We can go through the motions. We can feel what we're going to feel. There's nothing wrong with that. We have every right to feel those things. But the true differentiator of what allows somebody to be resilient and thrive in times of great upheaval is the amount of time that you stay in a state of emotional upset. They call that the refractory period. If something dramatic happens, you get upset, you get angry, you go through the motions and you have your human stuff that is going on, but then all of a sudden you catch it and you realize, okay, I felt that way. Now I'm going to move beyond it, because the more you start to create this internal balance in your body, just by letting your attention be in your body and letting the innate intelligence of your body do what it is designed to do, then bit by bit, you start to realize that this is truly what is going to condition and influence the new you, the human that you've always wanted to be and known you have the potential to be, or would like to know as possible. This is where it's going to come from. And create that balance. Keep creating that balance. Then all those things that everybody and everything was doing to us, suddenly you're able to see those things from a greater perspective, because it isn't blunted sensitivities or conditioned sensitivities that we've been so addicted to, that have been running our lives exactly like a computer program. We are now attuning ourselves to the organic intelligence, the organic bio-electromagnetic energy that is truly responsible for our human consciousness to become self-aware in these bodies that we're in. And when we see people, the things that disrupt us, we eventually get to a point where we might get upset, we might go off, but then because we keep bringing ourselves back to this place, we realize that those people are just teaching us how to be greater than the level of suffering or fear or projection that they are emitting from themselves. They are truly teaching us how to be able to do that, because you know why there's so much fear and so much darkness and so many terrible things that we witness happening around? Because most are unconscious of how expansive their energy fields truly are. They are ignorant to how interconnected every single thing that ever was or could be, and that we could never even begin to imagine, is all interwoven and connected at a base level in a way that supports us when we become conscious of it. And when we do, we see those people or those situations for what they are. They're just like that stuck energy that's in our body, that's causing us to feel achy or causing other symptoms. We just hadn't brought our attention to that part of ourself in a way that frees it. But just as when we do bring our attention internally and we do free up the memory of all these old traumas and impacts and everything that are permeating our being, then we start to feel the balance that is naturally innate in our bodies. And the more we focus on that and develop it, the more the natural coherence of the earth supports you in the recognition of these invisible fields that truly are what's going on. The more the solar system supports you. And then when you look at all the terrible things that appear to be happening in the world, you know that you don't have to do anything before you make the choice to hold a frequency that is greater than it, because it is all operating at a frequency that is stuck in its own suffering, in its own torment, in its own evil, in its own whatever it may appear to be. It is just stuck there. And because we didn't know better, we allowed ourselves to get stuck in that as well. But now we're knowing more, we're learning more, we're beginning to have greater discernment, and we're realizing that we don't have to stay stuck in that. And in fact, we can do the opposite. We can get unstuck. We can release the shackles and handcuffs of mental and emotional addiction to past traumas that most of us live and exist as though it were the predominant bulk of our entire personality. And in fact, it is. Our entire sense of self, our ego, is mostly constructed of memorized beliefs, behaviors, actions, traumas, all things from the past that prevent us from feeling the energy that's allowing us to live. So when you break the addiction to all those things that you keep feeling and thinking about and then projecting forward into your future and into your present, then you let them all go. And that great coherent field that's in you, that's all around you, times infinity, it starts to work through your human perception. It starts to take those old blunted sensitivities, all the parts of you that have been temporarily shut down or conditioned to focus on external things and give them more value than that which is truly priceless, which is internal states of awareness that recognize the source of energy that is temporary, allowing you, the human being, to exist. When you realize that is the only truly valuable thing or focus to give your attention to, oh my God, does it pay you back? And it pays you back proportionate to the degree that you give your attention to it. And so some will notice it, say you choose to get into these states and relax more and more, and you put 20 minutes a day into it. It's 20 minutes a day that you're giving more attention to it. That's more the time that it's focusing on you. And you do that for a month, you keep doing it, you keep coming back to it, and you feel the effect that it has on you. And that gets you excited, that gets you inspired to keep going more. So you go a little bit deeper. You start choosing to make your internal world of energy, the perception of energy, you make it more alive than all of the energy you've been investing in the external world. And then more things start to happen. You start feeling better. Symptoms or sicknesses or issues in your body just start to resolve on their own, because the innate intelligence in your body that knows how to regulate homeostasis comes back. And then bit by bit, okay, and here's something I want everybody here to really, really listen to this and think about it, feel it, consider it, because this is so important and so invaluably priceless when you really, really consider how much this matters and the importance of it. And that is essentially that our bodies, okay, every single system in our body, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, all these glands in our bodies, our organ systems, the way they all harmonize with one another and work together, the lymphatic system, the vagus nerves that come out of the back of the brain and go down and connect through the body to most of the systems, the endocannabinoid system that produces cannabinoid receptors, just like people taking exogenous external cannabinoids to stimulate them. When we get into a state of balance, all of these self-regulating systems begin to harmonize and start working together, and they start producing chemicals and electronic reactions, organic bioelectric reactions that begin to empower the parts of you that have been shut down because you have unconsciously consented your awareness to the world and allowed yourself to be conditioned. They start to come back online. You start to activate dormant perceptual centers of your mind and body, mostly through your glandular system, because they're like little mini brains. They all are just loaded with neurons and neural connections and neural architecture. And when you are in this state of calm, balance, breathing, and you've retired your ego a little bit, just enough so that you can feel that there is some greater force that is causing your body to exist, then bit by bit your body begins releasing all those old things that hold it back, and those systems harmonize and they come together. And in these glands is profound innate intelligence. And when you start focusing on these glands from a state of breathing rhythmically, smiling from your heart, you eventually begin to feel the pulse of your heart anywhere in your body. And this is how I was able to heal so many of my own issues. And I've seen so many other people heal themselves of this when they apply it. But beyond our healing, beyond that, something way greater has the opportunity to happen. And again, back to what's important here is we are designed for this. This isn't like new frontiers trying to figure this all out. We already have this in us. Our entire bodies, the way we perceive reality, it's almost like the human body has been the most finely, divinely created instrument to detect these invisible forces of energy that make up the predominant aspects of all known and unknown realities, almost 100%. That's how predominant these energies are. They are almost 100% of what is actually going on. But as soon as we come out of that, as soon as we say, oh, they're doing this, they're putting this, trying to think of a terrible example to give you here. Oh, Biden and Trump, oh my God, you hear that? Or Bill and Melinda Gates, you hear they're getting divorced? Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. As soon as we realize that we don't have to give our attention to that, because when you give your attention to it, you're suddenly also giving your own emotional and perceptual filters to what that represents to you. You're projecting that out into the world, because this field of energy that's causing the heart to beat, whether you're choosing to be in a state of alignment with it or not, you are still producing energy. Your body is emitting energy no matter what. And when you do that, okay, when you are emitting energy, you're receiving energy and you're emitting energy. But when you are in a state of density, when you're in a state of being stuck and afraid, then your thoughts and feelings get sent out through that field that is causing your heart to beat, and you are putting that out into the world. And when you put that out into the world around you cannot do anything other than show you exactly what you are putting out there, because you are the one creating your own experience. You just didn't know how powerful you were at doing it. Keep breathing. Keep smiling through your heart. I'm just going to go on a little bit more. I'm just going to talk a little bit deeper about the potentials that exist from this state that everybody can attune themselves to and tap into if they choose. And I had to figure this out in the worst conditions. I mean, life or death conditions. I had no choice. But I figured it out because it just made sense. And I only had to figure it out to the degree where I just realized that there was something so much greater happening to me, through me, that I stopped trying to figure it out. And when I stopped doing that, it started to figure me out, meaning it started to regulate its own ability to create balance within me. And at that point, really, am I gonna, the guys who are fighting and yelling and bickering, or they're talking about some belief system or something through the filter of their own conditioned mind, most of their thoughts and beliefs that were never theirs to begin with, but that they have adopted as their own because that's the only example they were given. I think I'm going to give my attention to that. When I can feel this pulse anywhere in my being, and I know how beautiful it is, and I know what the source code of it truly is, and it is so beautiful. It is so healing. There isn't anything in this world that it cannot bring greater level of healing and frequency and awareness to, but it can only do it when we allow ourselves to be the conduits that are synergized and synchronized to it, because we were designed for that. These bodies were designed for it. But again, focusing on everything else. So the greater levels look a little bit like this. As you start prioritizing being in a state of internal harmony and calmness, and bit by bit, you just keep making that more important to you than all the external focuses and things that are always competing for our attention. And this can take a little bit of time. This doesn't have to happen instantly. But the more you start giving priority to it, the more cumulative the effects are in your self-awareness, meaning that the more you start to make space for this space to be in you, this invisible energy that is space, the more that is animating your being, the more you allow that to have the freedom that it wants to have, the more coherent and organized it becomes naturally, because its nature is freedom. The soul that is causing your heart to beat, causing all these things to happen, it wants to be free to explore, to create, to express at a level greater than we can imagine from the limited, addicted, egoic mind that has boxed itself into a little corner and feels like it's trapped there, thinking that the external world is the one entirely responsible for it, when really we're the ones actually responsible for it. And to the degree that we're willing to acknowledge that something way greater than all of it is happening to us, through us, and we can rationalize and come to a logical state of reasoning that it is what is causing all of this to exist, it's what allows the human experience to happen, then you just surrender. You just stop. You're like, oh my God, why am I gonna keep stressing out about something that I can't have any effect on from a state of pain? Of course we couldn't. How are we gonna have any kind of lasting effect on that? But when you get into these states, you feel these greater coherent fields that are both in you and all around you, supporting you. And then your human self, your ego, who you believe yourself to be, starts to come back into that. It starts to be influenced by this greater innate knowingness, this intelligence that's there. And you start to realize that all the past memories and behaviors and traumas and things that prevent you from being much more attuned and in alignment with this field as it exists right in this actual moment, except for there even isn't a moment because there is no time, then you can feel the power, the empowerment, the amplitude, the imperceptible to the suffering mind crystalline frequencies that are always attempting to encode themselves into our perception of reality, into the DNA, the energetic aspects of our entire being. And when that happens, oh my God, we wake up and we recognize that we are true an infinite soul that is evolving through this brief window of what appears to be happening through a human perspective. And the human self appreciates that so much, and it gets in alignment with that soul purpose. And it says, oh my God, I want to serve you. I'm ready. This is you. This is the soul self integration. You, the person that's stuck and afraid and all that. Now you just want to serve and focus and enhance this energy inside of you. And you want to see others around you doing the same, because you know it doesn't take that many of us doing this to bring in and anchor in and hold and emit a frequency that is so much greater than all of the pain and suffering that exists on this planet.